sao ing ring shring ka la ring asakahala ring sakala ring sao ein kling ring shring Aum. Namaste. Welcome to Śrīmad Devī Bhāgavatam. The Sanskrit verse you just heard is the Sodashi mantra. Sodashi mantra is the most powerful and beneficial Vedic prayer. It invokes the Shakti of goddess Lalita, also known as Tripura Sundari, Mahamaya, Durga, and many other names. Who is goddess Lalita? This Śrīmad Devī Bhāgavatam is her story. Listen, and you will gain immense spiritual benefit. Here begins Chapter 1, Questions by Aunaka and Others. I meditate on the beginningless Brahma Vidya, who is Sarva Chaitanya Rupa, of the nature of all consciousness. May she stimulate our buddhi to the realization of that, Brahman, as described in the Upanishads. Shaunaka said, O highly fortunate Sutta, O noble Sutta, you are the best of persons. You are blessed, inasmuch as you have thoroughly studied all the auspicious Puranas. O sinless one, you have gone through all the 18 Puranas composed by Krishna Dvaipayana. They are full of esoteric meanings. The Puranas are endowed with 5 characteristics: history, cosmology with metaphorical illustrations of philosophical principles, secondary creation, genealogy of kings, and of manvantaras, or the period of a Manu's rule, consisting of 71 Divya Yugas, or 306,720,000 terrestrial years. O sinless one, it is not that you have read the Puranas like a parrot, but you have thoroughly grasped the meaning of them all, as you have learnt them from Vyasa himself, the son of Satyavati. Now it is our good merits that you have come at this divine, holy, excellent Vishvasankshētra, free from any defects of Kali Yuga. O Sutta, the Munis assembled here desire to hear the holy Purāṇa Samhita that yields religious merits. So describe this to us with concentrated mind. O all-knowing Sutta, live long and be free from the threefold sorrows of existence. O highly fortunate one, narrate to us the Purāṇa equivalent to the Vedas. O Sutta, those persons that do not hear the Puranas are certainly deprived by the Creator, though they apparently have the organ of hearing with the power of tasting the sweet essence of words. Because the organ of hearing is gratified only when it hears the words of the wise men, just as the organ of taste is satisfied only when it tastes the 6 kinds of tastes: sweet, sour, pungent, bitter, salty, and astringent. This is known to all. The serpents are void of the organ of hearing, yet are enchanted by sweet music. Then why shouldn't those persons that have the organs of hearing, but are averse to hear the Puranas, be thrown under the category of the deaf? O Saumya, of gentle appearance, hence all these Brahmanas, being distressed with the fear of this Kali Yuga, have come here to Naimisharanya, eager to hear the Puranas attentively, and are staying here with this one object. Time must be spent somehow or other. Fools while away their time in sports and other evil practices, and the learned pass away their time in meditating on the śāstras. But these śāstras are too vast and very varied. They contain jalpas, debates or wrangling discussions to win over the opposite party, vadas, sound doctrines to arrive at just conclusions, and various artavadas, explanations and assertions recommending vidhis or precepts by stating the good arising from their proper observance and evils arising from their omission, and also by adducing historical instances for their support, praises, and eulogies. And they are filled with argumentation. And amongst these śāstras again, the Vedanta is sattvic, the Mīmaṅsas are the rajasic, and the Nyaya śāstras and Hetuvadas are the tamasic. So the śāstras are varied. Similarly, the Puranas are of three kinds, sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. O Saumya, you have recited those Puranas, endowed with 5 characteristics and full of many narratives. Of these, the 5th Purāṇa, equivalent to the Vedas and with all good qualities, this Devi Bhāgavatam yields dharma and kama, religion and desires, gives liberation to those who desire emancipation, and is very wonderful. You mentioned this before, but only in passing. You did not dwell on it specially. Now these brahmanas are eager to hear gladly this divine, auspicious Devi Bhāgavatam, the best of the Puranas. So kindly describe it in detail. O knower of Dharma, by your faith and devotion to your Guru, you have become sattvic, and thus have thoroughly known the Purāna Samhitas spoken by Vedavyāsa. O omniscient one, therefore we have heard many Puranas from your mouth, but we are not satisfied, as the Devas are not satisfied with drinking the nectar. O Sutta, fie to the nectar, even as drinking nectar is quite useless in giving mukti. But hearing the Bhagavata gives instantaneous mukti from this samsara, the terrible round of birth and death. O Sutta, we perform thousands of yajñas for drinking the nectar, amrita, but never we got the full peace. The reason being that yajñas lead to heaven only. On the expiry of the period of punya, good merits, the heavenly life ceases, and one is expelled from the heavens. Thus incessant sojourns in this wheel of samsara, the constant round of births and deaths, never ends. O knower of everything, thus, without jnana, self-realization, mukti never comes to men wandering in this wheel of time, the Kala Chakra composed of the 3 gunas. So describe this holy Bhagavatam, always beloved of the mumukshas, those that desire mukti, this secret work yielding liberation, holy and full of all transcendental sentiments, rasas. Thus ends the first chapter of the first Skandha, on the questioning about the Purāṇa by Śaunaka and other rishis, in the Mahāpurāṇa Śrīmad Devī Bhāgavatam of 18,000 verses by Mahārṣi Vedavyāsa. Thanks for listening. Śrīmad Devī Bhāgavatam is best heard from the beginning. So if you just discovered us, please go back and listen to the first episode. Śrīmad Devī Bhāgavatam is a blog, a podcast, even a video series. Check the links in the description for our other sites. This is Adya Shakti Swami. Thanks for listening. Find out what happens in the next episode of Śrīmad Devī Bhāgavatam.